Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's the way it's going down right now. Power Monday all up in your area. Life is getting a little scarier. Actually, feel a little bit more confident, and you're going to understand what I meant. Today on the DG show, the DG show, the DG show, it's the daily go get mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing. Take it off left lane, no coasting. And we are in motion, baby. Everything's gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be good. And it's good to see y'all. It's good to be standing in front of y'all once again for another DG show. And today we're talking about always trying to play dress up. Yo, what y'all know? Always trying to play dress up. So today we're gonna talk about people who don't like who they are. And so they're always trying to be something else. Now, sometimes it can be a little cute. Like, okay, such and such is such a chameleon. They're able to fit into any situation, and they're able to get along with people anywhere they go. That's the good part of it. That's the good part of it. But sometimes it can start to get on your nerves when you realize that you're dealing with somebody who really doesn't like who they are. And you realize that you're dealing with somebody that's always trying to be somebody else. And you realize that you're dealing with somebody who unhealthily observes others and try to become what they are. So what you're really dealing with is deep-seated insecurity. So what do you do when they always trying to play dress up to look like you or somebody else that you seen with your eyes open? What is it? What is it about somebody else that makes somebody else try to be them? And we're not talking about big time celebrities. No. If we were talking about celebrities or whatever, we can understand the fantasy hold that they have over so many people. But when we're talking about everyday people, when we're just talking about regular people like you and I, that may be getting a little bit of shine, baby. They're getting the shine, baby. And you follow in right behind, baby, because you don't like yourself no time, baby. It can be a little rough. It can be a little rough when you're dealing with somebody like that, or if you are dealing with that yourself. So let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily, the daily go get a business show. We do this every single day. Every day it rains. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the Arts, the daily go get a business show all up in your area. We are here on this Power Monday. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope that you are feeling like real men and women should, authentically. And we're going to get into that tonight, real deep into that tonight. What is it like? What is it like not to like yourself? What is it like not to admire yourself? What is it like to put all of your positive qualities second, to look at yourself as second rate? Low value, baby. But to look at somebody else's qualities as first rate. Oh, I wish I could do this like such and such. I wish I could be like this. Like you. I wish I could be this. I wish I could do this. I wish I looked like this. Each and every one of us has some kind of quality about us that we don't like. Some of us don't like our hair. Some of us don't like our skin. Some of us don't like our skin tone. Some of us don't like our voice. Some of us don't like our name. Some of us don't like the way our clothes fit. Some of us just don't like our height. Some of us just don't like our eye color, the way our teeth are formed. There's always something about each and every person that they don't like about themselves. And some people hold on to the mantra like, well, if you don't like something about yourself, we are in the age where you can change it. And we're not just talking about changing your mind. We're not talking about advancing. We're talking about you can physically change some things. So when you start getting cosmetic surgery into the game, when you start employing techniques that will make you look different than what you are, so that you can feel differently than the way that you feel, but you find out that the feelings that you have stay inside because you realize that changing the physical form cannot change what's going on the inside, because the inside is the thing that has to be dealt with the most. So even though you're always trying to playing dress up is not working. It's not working. It is not working. So what do you do? What do you do? How do you handle it? How does it go? What are you gonna be when everything that you've tried to be other than what you are starts to break down? You know, because a lot of people who this type of situation affects, they don't really like it when you bring it to their attention. You know, I mean, people can deal with a whole lot of things as long as those things don't get brought to their attention, as long as they don't think that anybody's looking. But how can you think that nobody's looking when you are always playing dress up? Playing dress up. We're going to get into that because children play dress up. A young mind, imagination, observing the way adults are, the way that they act, the way that they are, the way that they be. Yeah, it's a regular thing for a child to try to put on adults' clothes and try to be something differently than what they are right then and there. That's their imagination going wild. It's actually a healthy thing. What happens when you become an adult and you haven't learned how to turn this off, though? What happens when you can't turn it off, though? Well, we gonna see. Yes, we are gonna see. That's what we're talking about today. That's what we're talking about today. This is what talk about today. That's what we're talking about today. That's what we're talking about today. This is what we're talking about today. Me shout my people out. T. Carey Wright is always here for the night, and I'm glad to have you in my eyesight. That's Murray. And Emily Dunlap is in the house. Bow, she about to turn it out. And Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita, it's good to see ya. And every time I have my eyes on you, I feel great. And I would say a YS Books is always a good look. I'm glad that you came through, no doubt. And I see my man T. Starks. Tony Starks is all up in the house. What's up, Iron Man? How you feeling, my brother? Good to see me some you and my big sis Robin Ming is here. Do her thing. Oh yes, yes. I see her. I sing. And Cherry, Cinderella, Dana Dane. Well, it's the woman Dana Dane with fame. It's Cinderella, Dana Dane. Well, it's the woman Dana Dane with fame. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill. I said my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. What's going on, my brother? Glad to see you come out. I haven't seen you in a couple of days. Missed you, no doubt. Word. So Tony Stark says, playing dress up as an adult is called role playing. Yeah, when it's just you and somebody else by yourselves. When you trying to be somebody that you're not, it's not called role playing. It's actually called playing the role. You're fronting. You're playing a role. But what we're talking about tonight is deeper than fronting. This is bigger than just. This is bigger than just, putting on a little show. We're talking about people who really just don't like the person that they are. It's pretty deep when you really start to think about it. We're talking about people who really don't like who they are. Cut and dry all the way, just like that. Oh, hold on. My man Donald Mack is in on the Instagram side. What's going on, my brother? And Lil Bunny. What's up, Lil Bunny? Thanks for coming through. Is that Lil Bunny? You know what I'm saying? Is that my high school? It could be. It could be. Hold on. Make sure y'all get your acknowledgement. Emily on that side. That's what's up. Talking about Steelers Nation. Y'all dropped 3 straight. Now y'all back. Y'all winning ways. Ha ha. But I mean, look. I'm not even talking football this year. We're not doing that. That's what we're not going to do. But yeah, when you really don't like who you are and you are a full grown adult, it's going to show. My brother Lawrence Sekel, all up in the area, all up in the place. It's good to see my man's face, no doubt. My ace. Boom Coon, he comes through soon. He's gonna make sure Daddy don't leave to the end. Oh, word. All right. Yeah, when you don't like when we're talking about playing dress up, we're talking about somebody that you know, or it could be somebody just like yourself who sees the good in everybody else out there in the world except for themselves. Except for themselves. So, you know, I mean, we're really talking about somebody who could be a copycat. You come through with the fly new jacket. Guess what happens? They come through with the fly new jacket. As if you ain't gonna notice too. Like, I mean, I understand that they made more than one, but you know, they did make more than one color too. You got the same colors, huh? I know, but you know. All right. Well, you know, it was a nice jacket. He liked the jacket. He went out and got the jacket. That was the first time. You went out and got the 1987, the 1986 Patrick Ewing sneakers. Guess what he did? Like, these are the 86 Patrick Ewing Adidas. They're vintage. You can't just go in the store and get these shits. You know, Knicks colors, blue and orange. He comes through with the 1986 Patrick Ewing Adidas. Like I said, this is not no regular shit. Like, this is when coincidence is thrown out the window, because a coincidence only happens once. When it starts to happen on a regular basis, this is a pattern. This dude is trying to be you. But what you don't understand is that he's not just copying off of you. He's trying to leave himself. He's trying to physically and emotionally and mentally leave who he is, because who he is not good enough to him. This cat is always playing dress up. I worked at a warehouse 2010, 2011, and for a small piece of 2012. And I remember there was this young cat that worked there. Now, this was 95% Hispanic American, you know, straight Latino. So there was a lot of Spanish being spoken in there. So I had to step my Spanish game up, because I was seeing this Dominican chick, and she couldn't really speak English. Well, no, she couldn't speak English. You know, just keep it a buck with you. She couldn't speak English. So in order for us to be able to communicate, I was going to have to learn how to speak Spanish, and she was going to have to learn how to speak English. So I had to learn how to speak Spanish. So I started getting kind of good at it. You know, enough to be able to go in stores and understand what they were saying, and be able to speak to them myself. Because I took Spanish in college. I never took it in high school. So I only knew Spanish 1. So I had to take what I remembered from there and, you know, rock out. So at least I understood the basic fundamentals of how to write it, how to say the words. I got that part. Anyway, since I started getting good at it, other people, the other people who worked in the warehouse, they felt like they could talk to me. You know, it built like sort of a bond. It built a bond with, you know, it built a bond between them and me, because instead of being like my supervisor was like, I'm not learning no Spanish. This is New Jersey. You know, you speak English when you come into this country. He was on that shit. He was on that Trump shit before Trump was even a factor. He was on that time. He was on that tight time. He didn't try to speak any Spanish whatsoever. So I was like, nah, I ain't gonna have these motherfuckers plotting on me and talking shit, and I don't know what they saying. Plus, I wasn't mad at him. All right. So one of these cats, this little black kid, whose mom was Puerto Rican or part Puerto Rican, and I believe his dad was Cuban, but he was black Cuban. He was black. He's running around here calling himself Cuban. Now, he didn't know a lick of English. I mean, he didn't know a lick of Spanish before he started working in that warehouse, but he started getting really good at it. He started getting really good at it. And when he saw me getting good at it, I wasn't as good as he was because he, was working there a little bit longer. But he was like, yo, he was like, Omar, oh, you could be like a fly Dominican. And I was like, I'm a fly American. Like, why would I want to be a Dominican? He was like, because you could blend right in, like Dominicans dark like you and me. And because this motherfucker was running around here talking about he's not black. I'm not black. My mom is Puerto Rican. My dad is Cuban. I'm Cuban. His dad wasn't even in his life. So I was like, let me get this straight. You running around here talking about you're not black, but both of your parents are black. Your complexion is black. I think the only Latino thing about him was his last name. And even that was a little. So anyway, so I was like, he was a young cat. Like 20, 21 years old, young. So he's young and impressionable, but I could see right then and there, he was always down to be somebody else. He was playing dress up. He was playing dress up at a young age, and I peeped it. And I'm like, he was 20 or 21 or whatever. I was 40. I was a whole 40. So I'm like, dude, that's out of my realm of understanding. I ain't never want to be nobody except for myself. Ever. So, but he had an impression. He made an impression on me. Like, he sees everybody else who is able to do something as something that he would like to do, but he doesn't want to do it as himself. He wants to hide in the shadows and be like them. Like, look, you can't see me. There's a good chance that he was a scam artist. There's a good chance that he had a future in being a scam artist. Made sense to me. But I thought it was an interesting phenomenon. I'm like, this cat, I just want to be what I don't want to be. I just want to be what I cannot be. What's up, Love Haven? My girl Mona's all up in the house. How you feeling, Ma? It's good to see me, some you. No doubt it's true. And Donald Mack says, well, there is a difference between adopting the color of your skin as opposed to your ethnic heritage. Listen, I'm not here to I'm not going to try to take away anybody's heritage. But this nigga he told me he didn't know a lick of Spanish before he started working at that warehouse. He said his mom ain't speak that shit at the crib either. But he channeled his inner Latino. Like, fuck it. They giving out checks for this shit. But he was full-bred American. He was so American, he had that American insecurity. Like, look. You can come from anywhere in the world. You can become an American. I can't go to Germany and become a German. It'll never work. But I can come from Germany to America and be an American. So, as an American who has heritage from other places, I'm like, if I wanted to diss, I'd be like, well, all right, so your heritage is coming from communism and poverty. And Puerto Rico is U.S. territory. So if you want to be Puerto Rican, that means you can't vote. All right, so that's what we're talking about tonight on the Daily Go Getterism Show. Make sure that y'all hit the like button, hit the like button, sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure you share the show and make sure that you subscribe to the channel, yo. I need y'all to do that. Can you do that? Appreciate it. If y'all could do that, please do that. Narciso says, I still want a pair of Jordache sneakers like my friend had in the 7th grade. This cat be taking it there. Yo, I remember them corny ass sneakers with that horse on the side. Yo, how do you do it? Yo, you be going back. Yo. Jordache sneakers, though. Jordache sneakers. Yo, it was around 7th grade, 6th grade. I was in 5th grade. When Jordache sneakers, I came out. When it came out, I was in 5th grade. Yo, you wilding. He's wilding. That's what's up, though. All right. So, Narciso says, I'm proud to be a third. Obesity and all. Be a third? What's a third? YS Books says, I'm trying to grow my Instagram at YS Books. Thanks in advance for your help. Okay. All right. Okay. I feel you on that. Robbie Ming says, all these years, I can't do nothing but like myself. It was times when I didn't like some things about me. Everybody has some things about themselves that they don't like, whether it's physical or whether it's on the inside. It could be something about your personality. Like maybe you don't make friends the way that you would like to make friends, or maybe you don't keep friends or other people in your life the way that you like to keep them. So you have low retention. You have a low retention rate when it comes to people who come into your life. Well, there could be reasons for that. Part of it has to be you. You have to take some type of accountability for it. Even if you are the type of person that tries to do the right thing or the good thing. And I have to separate the two, because the right thing and the good thing ain't always the same thing. The right thing, the good thing ain't always the same thing. The right thing, the good thing ain't always the same thing. The good thing, the right thing ain't always the same thing. You gotta do your thing. Do it now, King. The good thing, the right thing. Sometimes I'm good. Sometimes I feel like I'm really majorly understood. Or should I say misunderstood? Y'all know what I'm talking about or where I'm coming from. But one thing you know, I ain't no bum. And it's going to be y'all right. Somebody going to be down with the God tonight. You think it ain't? Yeah, all right. Well, we going to pursue this thing called life. We gonna make sure we live in other words except for tripe. But even when I be tripe, somebody still like that, because a lot of people like that thug shit. You understand that crazy shit is kind of whack. But yo, it's only whack when you get much older. When you younger, they be digging that shit. It's a different culture. But as we pursue on, as we proceed to give you what you need, we ain't trying to make your gums bleed. If I punch it in your mouth, yo, everything's gonna be all right. We gonna work it on out. Word. Okay. Donald Mack says, my ex-wife was from Canada and speaks fluent French, but referred to herself as black when she moved here. Well, what's stopping her from being black just because she's Canadian? I'm not understanding that. Like, being from America is not what qualifies you as being black. Not having a country of your own is what qualifies you from being black. I mean, qualifies you as being black. We don't have a country of origin. Jamaicans have Jamaica. You and your black ass were made in America, but you don't know that because you've been taught that we were made in Africa. But when you really think about it, it doesn't make any kind of sense, because when you really start to dissect the whole Middle Passage shit, and you start to, you know, maybe if you smoke a blunt, you'll understand. Like, hold up. So let me get this straight. So they had us packed in like sardines in the belly of ships, right? And how long it take to do that shit? Because it wasn't no motor. It wasn't no motor in the ships, right? And they said we was in deplorable conditions. They say we was in deplorable conditions. And so we was down there, nasty, stinking bacteria, viruses and all that kind of shit. So after 6 weeks at sea, And they had to do it during the warmer months. So you know how hot it had to be in the belly of the ship with the sun coming down. Ain't no shade out there in the middle of the ocean. And this you say this trek from West Africa all the way to the Americas took no less than 6 weeks. And that's if the wind was blowing strong, because no motors on the boat, right? How the fuck we survived that? If they didn't have no motors, that means they also didn't have any electricity. So how did they keep the food cold? Oh, you never thought about food. They had to eat, right? How did they make ice? How did they make ice and store ice in order to keep food stored in order to make that trip? And they wasn't feeding the slaves good. So if the slaves was starving basically for 6 weeks, how the fuck did the pirates? What did they eat? How did they store their food? Who the fuck wants to do that trip? How many times a year did they do that shit? They saying that 6 million, 100 million, whatever slaves came from Africa. Shouldn't that have drained Africa out at the time? How come no Africans ever claim to have known any time when mass Africans left villages in Africa? None of them have claimed that shit. And while we at it, besides Amistad, which the slaves got away from, why have you never seen a fucking slave ship? You never seen one. Oh, we heard that a lot of the slave ships sank. Oh yeah, so they sank and all of that cargo just. Name a slave ship. I'll wait till next year. It wasn't like that. We was already here. So because there was just like in Africa, there was a language barrier from North Americans to South Americans. So guess what they did? They took North Americans down to South Americans and took South Americans up to North Americans after they got finished killing everybody and intimidating them into being into slavery. And because they couldn't communicate with themselves, they told them that they were Africans, and they only had to worry about the adult ones carrying on that story, because the young ones were taught that they were from Africa, but they were from Central and South America. Black people been in this country longer than white people and longer than so-called Native Americans. And that's documented shit. You know what's not documented? All of that shit that you hear about the transatlantic slave trade is not documented. We hear about it, but when you go look at the actual documents, it'd be like, it ain't real, son. The technology goes deep. So yeah, if you're a Canadian and you are dark skinned, you speak English, or you speak French. If you speak French, just because you speak French don't make you French. I can learn how to speak French. Just like Hispanics speak a version of Spanish. They don't speak the real Spanish. If you learn Spanish in school and you listen to the way they talk, you don't understand a word they're saying. The South, okay. But anyway. When you playing dress up, trying to be somebody that you're not constantly. It's all right to play a little dress up every now and then. It's all right to see something that you like in somebody else every now and then and incorporate that into who you are and what you are. But when somebody else becomes what you are because that's what you have decided that you should be, man, we got a little problem. Down Max says, I got me some original beta bullets. Okay. Christina Dorsey. Thanks for coming on through. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming on through, y'all, on the Instagram side. All right. Narciso says, failure can make one question their worth when seeking validation in others. Tony Starks wants his Thriller jackets. You know, failure. What is failure exactly? All right, we set a goal. We set the precedent, and we don't achieve the goal. I'm not sure if that makes us a failure. I think the biggest failure is when you stop trying. You know, like only one team wins the championship every year in every sport. One team. So, but every year, all of the teams in that league try to win that championship. And no team wins the championship year after year after year. It's not set up for one team to be totally dominant while everybody else basically has to kiss the ring. It ain't like that. It ain't like that. So a failure would be like, a failure wouldn't be that I went, I got in the NBA or the NFL and I didn't do well. That's not a fail, because only the best in the world can make it into those leagues. So you had to have been the best somewhere just to make it there. So by the time you make it to there, you're too good to fail. You're too good. Look at these cats that basically, you know, don't make it too far in the NBA, but they go overseas. They go to Europe and be killing shit. Like they the Jordan over there. Like, yeah, but in the States, he ain't none of that. Yeah, well, he ain't in the States, but he was good enough to make it. He was good enough to make it into the NBA in the States. And now he's over here getting his money, setting this precedent, regulating, taking care of his family, and living his dream of being a professional ball player. It's not a bad deal. So, you know, now if you make it to the NBA and because you didn't win a championship or whatever, or you didn't become one of the leading, you weren't leading in any of the statistics, it still doesn't make you a failure. It makes you a journeyman, but not a failure. Like I say, you've already come too far to fail, to be a failure. You're too good to be a failure. You know, Donald Mack says, slave ships that are documented. Jesus of Lubeck, 1540, Antelope, Spanish slave ship captures near Florida, 1820. The Duc du Maine, French slave ship that brought slaves to Louisiana. These are all documented. Show me them. Where are they? Simple as that. Because I've done my research on this. Where are they? We can come up with names all day. Where are the slave ships? Because you know, if you say, okay, well, we don't have any physical evidence of these slave ships, but we have documented, we have papers. Well, we have papers documenting a whole lot of shit that didn't happen. That's part of the trick knowledge. But where's the fucking shit? You ask to see the Mayflower, they can take you to see that. But you mean to tell me the cargo that built this country built it? They didn't see the value of saving any of that. Even those Dixie cats. Okay, you have a list. Show me the physical evidence. They say dinosaurs roamed the earth. That's what they say. That's what they say. But when you go deep into it, guess what? They never found a full skeleton. They find a bone here, a bone there, and they kind of put some shit together. Look, listen, man. You know, yo, They don't find full structures. They just don't. They just don't. And it could be the conspiracy theorist in me, or should I say the truth-seeking theorist in me, because I'm still not sold on the fact that we went to the moon in 1969. I ain't sold on that shit. I am some odd shit that happened while they was supposed to have been up there. You know what I mean? No gravity up there, but they got wind. How you do that? No light up there, but they got shadows. How you do that? Obama said while he was the president, they was like, yo, let's go to the moon again. Obama was like, nah, I've been there, done that. He was like, yo, the technology is too fly today, baby. It's too fly. Like, yo, we can get away with that shit in 69. We can't get away with that shit ain't gonna play out 2011, baby. Can't do it. He said, been there, done that. He was like, shit. You're gonna have me part of this hoax. Love Haven says the Titanic was filmed from the sea. From the sea. So if they can film them, then they can film slave ships. All I'm saying is, where is the physical evidence of slave ships? It should be easy to produce. We built this country for free. For free. Bought and sold like livestock. Not taught to read and write. But you're gonna throw away the evidence that showed that how y'all made that painstaking trek from West Africa to the Americas, which it wasn't really the Americas. Like Christopher Columbus never made it to North America ever. All this Columbus Day shit and all of that, he never stepped foot on North American soil ever. He barely ever made it to Central American soil. Christopher Columbus made it to the Bahamas and Barbados, that kind of shit. He docked there. Got his shit together like, all right, they say there's something going on over this so-called mainland over here. Ain't no Plymouth Rock. And that's just real history. And that's documented. He wrote that shit. And when he came to the Americas, he wrote back to Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand that there were black people here. He didn't say Indians. He didn't say light skin. He didn't say chinky. He didn't say little pygmy look. He said black people. And then when you go down to Mexico, when you go down to South America, you see pyramids. That's why the Hebrew Israelites are like, Africa is not the origin of civilization. The Americas are, and they believe that shit. But they have some evidence to support it. But if you could really go back years and years ago, when it's believed that all the continents were joined together, and through evolution called Pangea, that's how the continents started to separate. So when you really think about that, you can say that Africa was the origin of civilization, but we don't really know. We say that the oldest artifacts of human life are found in Africa, but who knows if Africa was Africa back when all of the continents were together? We just don't know that. Just don't know. But we don't have any explanation for those Aztec pyramids down in Mexico and South America. We just don't. How you explain that in Peru? Pretty sophisticated pyramids. There are probably pyramids in other parts of the world too, but we only keep our eyes on Egypt. Got niggas running around here talking about some, since we talking about always playing dress up, we running around here talking about we descendants of kings and queens. I'm like, I don't need to be a descendant of a king and queen. Because first of all, if we descended from kings and queens, as if everybody was a king and queen, like nobody was a citizen, there were no peasants, then I guess all Europeans were descendants of kings and queens too. They're all royalty, just like we were. I don't need to be descendants of kings and queens. I'm descendants of my mom and my dad, my grandparents and shit. And they was all right with me. I could see, hear, touch them, understand them, feel them, compare myself to them. It's all right. So, all right, let's get back on track. Always trying to play dress up. Always trying to play dress up. What we doing? Brown Eyes. Brown Eyes. 1961. How you doing, man? Good to see me, some of you. Donna Mac says, do you believe in God? Any physical evidence? I believe in God in the spiritual. But I believe in the physical evidence that God gives me, because they say God works in very mysterious ways. But when you really take a hard look at it, he works in very obvious ways. The evidence of his creation is everywhere. Now, do I believe that Jesus walked on water and parted seas and fed whole villages with fish and all of that? What if I don't believe that? So what? I do believe that he created, not Jesus, but God created, like, you know, the sperm and the egg and the whole process. Yeah. It's very miraculous the way people are born, the way we come into this world. All right. So, listen, man, history is a motherfucker. But black people don't be looking at history. We be reading his story. Like, nah, he be lying, son. He be lying. He be lying. The worst thing he ever did was teach us how to read. And the worst thing that we could do with each other is teach each other how to read. And when I say how to read, I don't mean just be able to sound out the words and know the meanings. I mean, understand the depth of the writing, the motivation of the writer. When you get into that, now you're doing something. Anybody can spit out facts and figures. We're going to find out why. Let's find out what really happened. Every time we fail to acknowledge historical facts, we wind up getting our ass kicked. That's why you got these niggas running around here waiting to get that injection in their arm and shit for that vaccine. And I'm like, you out of your fucking mind, dog? The Tuskegee experiment was what? Supposed to be a vaccine, wasn't it? How'd that turn out? They got the audacity to make the first person to receive the vaccine a black woman. God damn. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck if you know or not. Yo, son, let me put y'all on something, right? Y'all got me all off track and shit. My bad. But last night, I did this show. with a Facebook friend of mine. Good people. Name was Chinchilla Jones. And she had this radio show. She invited me to be on the radio show last night. So, you know, I come on the show and the theme of the show was hidden agendas. Hidden agendas. Because that's kind of like how she talked. So she was talking, people coming on there, they talking about, they was talking about vaccine, he was talking about COVID-19, he was talking about politics and the government and all that. And I was supposed to talk about the government. So anyway, I come on the show, and nobody, none of them ever heard of me before or whatever. But I start rattling off my shit. You turn the microphone and the lights on, microphone, lights, and camera on. It's like showtime. Let's go. So I'm rattling off my shit, and I think I said the word shit or bullshit or whatever. And this was a show where you couldn't curse, but I know all that. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so, because I didn't get that information before, and I was kicking shit from a different perspective than people had thought about before. People will tell you all the time that You know, I don't listen. I don't get none of my information from mainstream media and blah 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 blah. I know you. If you don't get if you don't get all of your information from mainstream media, you choose to acknowledge that fact. More than likely, you get the rest of your information from YouTube. But let me make you understand that black propaganda ain't no better than white propaganda. If you employ the same techniques as your oppressor does, it don't make you no better. Like, you actually worse. Like, you going to take the enemy's technique and then you're going to justify it by saying, well, I know that y'all was used to this, so I was only doing this to get y'all to here. No, you stealing money in the process and you're giving out false information. And one thing that people do not forget, people seem to hold on to false information better than they do truth. Don't tell me I'm lying. You'll remember the lie that felt good way longer than the truth that hurt. Okay. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill, says, speaking of slave ships, I still have yet to watch Amistad. That movie sucked. I ain't even gonna front. I ain't like it. Charlene Curry. Charlene Curry. What's going on, Charlene? How you feeling, Charlene? It's good to see me. So you, mama. Lawrence Seckle says, elephant Tims or multicolored ACGs. He said, I never had a pair of elephant Tims. Narciso says, remember the wannabe black Rachel Dolezal. But the thing is, she ain't really want to be black. She just wanted to get this money. Like, culture vultures. You know what I mean? It's nice to have a fat ass, certain kind of skin tone, swag, and all that shit. But when it comes time to pay the piper, when it comes down to the struggle, they be like, oh, that shit. I'm white. Fuck you talking about? You know, like that movie or that book back in the day, Black Like Me. Yeah, he dressing up and painted himself a black person, but he ain't even act or talk I'm black. So that shit ain't nah, son, nah. Queen Joynique, how you doing? And she says, for me, it's about loving what one does. And if that is the case, then each player won because they are doing what they love. Some people lose their drive because they focus on competing with others versus interesting. But when we talk about playing dress up all the time, we're talking about the insecurity in the person where they can see all of the positive qualities in everybody else except for themselves. So they choose to try to emulate, imitate, and amalgamate somebody else's swag, somebody else's person, somebody else's life, somebody else's love, somebody else's ways, and try to make them their ways. But do they ever, when people do that, do they understand that whoever you are trying to be just like probably is insecure in their own way? I've never met a person that I consider to be 100% confident. Because when you really think about it, there's always room for improvement. So if you're 100% confident, then that means that you don't have any work to do on yourself. Now, you show me a perfect person, and then I'll show you a miracle. A perfect person? I've known some really pretty chicks, you know, fat ass, big titties, pretty face, flawless, I guess you could say flawless skin and all that kind of shit. But when you get up close to them, you know what I mean? You can smell a little foam. Not that they wasn't clean, but you know, I mean, you're clean. My clean might not be the same. You know what I'm saying? Shorty, all right. Shorty, live John. But there is nobody without flaws. There's nobody who doesn't have some work to do. Everybody is not all that to everybody. Everybody can't be all that to everybody. You hear people say things like, I can have any man or woman that I want. No, you can't. Everybody has somebody in their history, in their relationship history, that don't want to have nothing to do with them ever again. Everybody. You can't be, listen. Listen. You can be good to most people, but great, you start making yourself a very big fish in a very small pond. You ain't gonna win with everybody. When you see celebrities in person, it changes everything. It changes a whole lot about what you think you see visually. But when you have somebody that's always playing dress up, you're talking about somebody who doesn't choose to see the truth physically. Everything they see is an imaginary type of thing. We just got finished. Well, we're not all the way finished, but we are dealing with a president of the United States who thinks that he can smoke and mirror his way through life, and it's working. But it's over now. But this shit worked. His fantasy of being the president resonated with millions of people. And they still living that fantasy. Like, yo, we can do it. We can still do it. What you mean we? This motherfucker ain't never do nothing for you. Can't tell them that shit, though. Can't tell them that. Can't tell them. Like, he sees himself through the eyes of himself, and they see him through the eyes of themselves. It's quite remarkable. It's quite remarkable, and I don't mean that in no good way. All right, wait. Let me get down to these comments. Cherry says tricknology, the techniques of deception and manipulation employed by a dominant group, especially a white majority, to disempower and a weaker one, especially a black minority. We are so misled. That's exactly what. Like, Dana, I don't understand how motherfuckers can't see that shit. But then again, I understand why motherfuckers can't see that shit. It's the natural inclination of all things to move towards pleasure and move away from pain. And the pain of the black man, woman, and child is an existence of pain. Even just acknowledging that fact can be painful because it sounds like we're being negative. Like, it sounds so defeatist. What do you mean our whole lives is about struggle? I'm like, well, look at the way the board is set up. Look at the way the board is set up. If this was a race, this would be the race. And I'm probably really, really holding back on how far it is. But this is you, and this is them, and this is supposed to be a fair race. And they'll tell you, oh no, the race is fair. It's not like it used to be. You had a black president. You couldn't do that before. Things have changed. You're in a good position. You can go on Maury, and do the I am not the father dance with all of these white girls that you've been fucking. This is the race. They all the way up here, and you are here. This is from birth, baby. This is from birth, regardless of your socioeconomic condition. You can deny it. So in saying that, it almost makes sense that you would try to play dress up, but you ain't trying to. Listen, man. One thing that people know that they can't do is be white. So we try to get as close as possible. But I ain't even talking about that today. I wasn't even talking about that today. I'm just talking about people who don't like who they are. And I don't know about y'all, but it makes me a little sad. It does. I like to see people when they're confident. I like to see them, going out, striving out, getting things, fucking with them. You can't afford 2 chicken wings. And I think everybody should be able to afford at least 2 chicken wings. Shout out to people who go to the Chinese store and decide they only want 2 chicken. We're like, yo, I thought they only come in 3s. I thought you had to get at least 3. Like, no, I just want 2 wings. 2? I don't know how to price this. We don't know how to price these. All right. Yeah. Oh, wait. Hold on. Carol Chamberlain says, my chat on the computer isn't working. Okay. All right. Okay. Bet. We can see you. Queen Joynique says, false evidence appearing real. That's fear, right? False evidence appearing real. Just because one looks at a photo video doesn't mean it's real evidence. Go outside and look at the moon and you can see an American plane fly behind it, then come out. Oh shit. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Queen Joynique says there are actually pyramids in quite a few different places. Egypt is just the most talked about in the U. Exactly. But because Egypt is supposed to be the beginning of civilization, we hang on to that shit. So you gonna take the place that's not centered right in the thick of Africa if you believe that Africa is the origin of all man. So you gonna let Egypt have all the credit? Egypt, Pharaoh, let my people go. What? Nigga, what? What you talking about? Nah. You look at Egypt today. Does that look like you? Does that look like somewhere where you and yours came from? So it ain't good enough for you to come from Mozambique? If you come from Mozambique, it ain't good enough for you to come from Ghana. It ain't good enough for you to come from the Ivory Coast. It ain't good enough for you to come from Gambia, from South America, from what was South America called before before it was called South America? Zimbabwe, Somalia, Ethiopia. Yeah, why not come from Ethiopia? They got good hair. I mean, you niggas love good hair, right? Come from Ethiopia. You got good hair. Dark, but with good hair. You want good hair? Yeah, have good hair. Maybe Ethiopians. Don't concentrate on the famine. They got over 100 million people in Ethiopia. Did you know that? It's a lot of people in Ethiopia. A lot of people. It's a very ancient country. Very ancient. All right. Queen Joynique says those are parables. Word. And Ansel Jones says I learned about what knowledge is self from the Black Star CD. Most Def and Talib Kweli, that Black Star CD. Wow. Bite my tongue. All right. Tony Stark says, yo, I got Tony Braxton in the mix up. Peace. And okay, do your thing, my brother. Thanks for coming on through. I appreciate you. And so Jones says, there are so many false prophets. Narcel says, quoting Stephanie Mills, they want R&B, but not from us. R&B, Robin Blacks. Okay. Robin Ming says, no one is perfect at all. Lisa Long. Miss Long is all up in the house. Let's go to Lisa Lee. What's going on? Good to see me. So you and Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Thanks for coming on out. Good to see me. Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button, son. Y'all gotta hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We about to get on about it in a minute. We're gonna do these birthday shout-outs and then we're gonna let y'all go on, get on with the rest of y'all week. It should be heading right towards 2021. We heading right towards 2021. Here it is, the 28th. My big sis' birthday today. Shout out to her, Shell Hatcher, formerly Shell McIntyre, formerly Shell Morgan. You know what I mean? It's the second marriage. It's all good. Love is love. But yeah, when we're talking about always trying to play dress up. You hate your own image. You hate yourself, but you love somebody else's image. But that kind of makes you a culture vulture in your own right, because you want to dress up and act like that person, but you don't want that person to struggle. And who do you know that doesn't have a struggle? I don't care how popular you appear to be. I don't care how great that you seem to be with everybody else. Somewhere along the line, you have some problems. And it could be anything. Here you are. Here you are, a perfect female specimen, and just happen to have a red snapper twat. No matter how much you wash, it still got a lot of snapper in it. The old snapper too, not the fresh, straight out of the Florida water snapper. I'm talking about, man, like it's kind of rank. It's a little rank. It's a little rank. It's a little rank. It's a little rank. Carol Chambers says, if you ain't struggling, you ain't living. I'm just saying. You could be the livest male. You know what I mean? You're good. Handsome, got money and all that kind of shit. You just got this little problem being able to hold back your orgasm. Like you a 30-second brother. You be like, like as soon as you break the seal of the pussy. As soon as you break the seal of the pussy, be like, oh God, I did it again. Oh, rats. But you got a nice car, good house, hell of a career. Good shit. Good shit. Handsome brother. Can't hold a nut to save his life, though. Ask the women in his life. They'll tell you, like, at least he pays for it. Mm-hmm. So we all have a struggle. When we say pick a struggle, we ain't playing a struggle. We gotta pick a struggle. Let's do these birthday shout outs, y'all. Let's do these birthday shout outs and get on about here. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious December 28th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A. They get R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. Danny Hargrove, daddy, happy birthday to you. And also Rosalind Murphy, happy birthday to you, turning 48 years old. And Deja Walters, happy birthday to you. And Pancho Long, turning 58 years old today. And Linda Duval, turning 65 years old today. And Stephanie Jones, turning 40 years old today. Happy birthday to you. Blah, 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 blah. And Yolanda Plummer, turning 46 years old today. And Aisha Too Sweet 2, turning 49 years old today. And Elaine Boone, turning 47 years old today. And Jimmy Holloway, happy birthday to you. And Corey Gilliam, turning 45 years old. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, Corey Gilliam now. And also Shakita Wirtz, turning 35 years old today. And Marissa Tilley, turning 26 years old today. Martin Benson, my man, turning 60 years old today. The big 6. Oh, happy birthday to you, Marty Moore. And my girl, Net Moore, word up. You know what I'm saying? Turning 48 years old today. And last but certainly not least, she's number one, my big sis, Shell Hatcher, formerly known as Shell Morgan, formerly known as Shell McIntyre. Happy birthday, my big sis. Love you to death, resuscitate you, and love you right back to life. It was good to see you this past Saturday. Came on through, had a nice little talk with you. You know what I'm saying? It was good to bond with you. Proud of you, girl. Love you to death. You know what I mean? My big sis used to have to take me to the movies with her when I was little. You know, they figure if you got your little brother with you, then you ain't gonna get in no shit with these boyfriends that's taking you to the movies. It was a good strategy on my dad's behalf. But guess what? It ain't work because I just happen to not be a snitch. Now, my big sis, I ain't gonna front, is a snitch. But, you know, fuck it. Let's just excuse that by saying that she was being protective, even all the way into I was in my 30s. It's all good. Love is love, baby. Like I said, I love you, baby. I love you, baby. All right, y'all. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday with this glorious. December 28th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, the rock out, rock on, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. Anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, you can play dress up just like a child plays dress up, but as an adult, the dress up that you're doing is really having an effect, is really going to have an effect on who you really are. And what you portray, what you exude, what you display to other people says a lot about going on the inside of you. Now, if you don't mind people seeing the inside and not being able to respect the inside of you, then that's on you. It's all, hey man, it's a free country of sorts. And if you want to, you know, if you want to look like, act like, do like somebody else that you admire, you feeling them, then by all means, you do that, sir. But know thyself, live thyself, do thyself, but ask for help. And the help that you may need is finding yourself, because knowledge of self is the best self you can have. It's going to be your ride. You don't know the half. It's going to be okay. It's going to be your ride. We do this thing every night. Make sure y'all come through and check out the Daily Go Get a Business show tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Same bad time, same bad channel. We'll be talking about some fly shit. I'm not even sure what it is yet, but it's going to be good. I want to thank y'all for putting up with my shit, because y'all know how it is. I get a little crazy. I know you'll be thinking, well, what's this boy talking about? But hey, it's gonna be okay. So peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. Love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all back to life. Y'all know how I go. So as we get on up out of here, let me get my blog talk out of here. I'm holler back at y'all. Peace, Blog Talk. And
thank you for using Blog Talk
and for Instagram. Thanks for all my Instagrammers coming through. Appreciate y'all showing love over there. Y'all restoring my y'all building my confidence over there. I like it. Good looking, good looking. Peace. Wise Books is over there. Peace. All right, let me get you out of here. Okay. All right. And I'm going to get back with y'all. Holla. Don't forget to share that show, though. Don't forget to subscribe to that channel. Peace. You know what I'm saying?